my top upcoming 2020 anime for all of you. This year was such a stacked year, despite that 2020 is looking even more packed. Since you're awesome, go ahead and Detroit smash that thumbs up, post any anime picks you're excited for, and let's get started. Kicking this off, did someone say Demon Slayer? How about a Demon Slayer movie? Did someone say demon slaying on trains? And I think literally every one of the anime fans should be hyped for this one. You're gonna get more Tanjiro, more of the adorable Nezuko, more Inosuke. Too bad more Zenitsu too. You're gonna have to be careful watching this with surround sound. Here's hoping that Lisa does return in some fashion to do the main theme for this Demon Slayer movie. But let me reassure you that the Ufotable Anime Studio is returning. You thought the Demon Slayer TV anime looked amazing? They've clearly raised the bar for themselves over the years. All of us anime fans will be expecting some plus ultra anime scenes coming up, especially for action sequences. I'm also predicting the Demon Slayer Season 2 will get announced, or get this soft confirmation post this movie. It is sad to know that the Demon Slayer manga is actually pretty close to ending. Thanks to that and the current anime, the Demon Slayer manga actually became the top selling manga of 2019. No, it wasn't Attack on Titan or My Hero Academia. Instead, Demon Slayer dethroned the One Piece king. Sorry, One Piece. Next anime, The Promise Neverland Season 2. The first Promise Neverland anime felt like this refreshing take on the shonen series. You had horror elements mixed in with this ominous, mysterious setting. How in the world would the trio escape their destined fate? What was even past the wall restriction of their small orphanage world? Before the anime started, I do think some people overhyped this anime a good chunk, especially for anyone making Attack on Titan comparisons. The Promise Neverland anime is more like Attack on Titan light, and I do mean that in a positive manner. It feels like Season 1 was a wonderful setup to a lot of great things to come. And yes, I do know certain manga plot points that are coming up, which makes me extremely hyped for the Promise Neverland Season 2. Unfortunately for this one too, the manga is ending soonish. Depending on how the anime adapts everything, The Promise Neverland could eventually end up being on a must-watch classic anime list. By the way, fun fact, a Promise Neverland live-action movie is coming up. To be honest, I think the concept would have been super easy for a TV show instead. But no thanks, I'll stick to Season 2. Next up, Isekai Quartet Season 2. We had some of the top Isekai anime all joined into one: ReZero, KonoSUba, Overlord, and Tanya. This ultimate Isekai anime crossover was such a pleasant surprise. What was not to love? Any of you hardcore anime fans for each series got more from each character. It was really this free promotion until their next project, hopefully anime sequel. And let's be completely honest, this anime with this simple animation combined with this like 10-minute runtime cost them practically nothing to make. Also, don't forget about the Isekai Quartet merch. I've seen a ton of it here in Japan, which is why it's no surprise Isekai Quartet is getting a Season 2. Here's the fun part. A super special mixed awesome Isekai anime is joining up. That's gonna be Shield Hero. Oh yes, Best Girl Raphtalia will get more time to shine. The Shield guy and the KFC Loli are gonna be there too. Either way, more juicy stuff. Supposedly there will be a rotating cast. You know what that means. Come on, give me some No Game No Life. Give me some Shiro. So here's hoping that happens, and they should really consider making Isekai Quartet a yearly thing. Next up, the Violet Evergarden movie, or would that be second movie? Turns out the recent OVA got expanded into a full-fledged movie. I was lucky enough to catch this here in Japan a few months back. Definitely a super strong recommendation from me if you haven't seen the Violet Evergarden Season 1 anime. You might have originally missed it due to Netflix snatching this up, but now it's easily available. Take some time to see Violet's progression from being this kid involved in a war, just seeing her struggling to become human post-war events. Thankfully, Violet Evergarden has been blessed with a gorgeous animation from the Kyoto Animation Studio. There's a good chunk of stuff here comparable to movie quality. No surprise that Violet Evergarden was my top anime of last year. Get ready for more cry time. Unfortunately, I do have to bring up the dreadful disaster that the Kyoto Animation went through earlier this year. Ultimately, that tragedy did cause the loss of some of the people involved in the first anime, which also delayed the release of this anime movie. So here's hoping the Kyoto Animation staff has been able to recover as much as possible. I'm gonna be there to support on day one. Next up, Yuru Camp Season 2. What do you get when you combine cute girls doing cute things plus camping? The answer, a winning combination. Another strong recommendation from me for the Yuru Camp Season 1, which also made it into my top 10 anime of last year. This was such a wonderful and super relaxing slice of life anime. You'll feel ultra cozy as you travel along to visit the various outdoors that Japan has to offer. Since I'm now in Japan, I'll get to visiting those places eventually. Here's the fun part, the end of Eurocamp Season 1 announced a ton for this anime. Not only are you getting a Season 2, there's an upcoming Heya Camp short, a Eurocamp movie in the works, and you do have one of those lovely live action projects in the works. I know, call me crazy, but I'm actually optimistic about the live action project, partly due to it being a TV series. I mean, you really only need cute Japanese girls and then make them go camping. How could you even screw that up? But back to Eurocamp Season 2, there still is no official release date except sometime in 2020. That'll give you newcomers some time to catch up. The Slimy Isekai Anime Season 2. To be honest, I'm still quite surprised how much I ended up enjoying this Isekai anime. If you've seen any Isekai anime at this point, you really know the basic setup. You got the guy that dies in typical Isekai fashion. The twist on it is that he's reborn as a seemingly weak slime monster. You won't be surprised at all to find out this little slime becomes pretty overpowered within a short time period. Honestly, it's pretty surprising how enjoyable this anime is. I mean, you do have the cliche Isekai setup, along with that overpowered character, but it somehow works. In fact, it actually works better than most Isekai anime coming out. This anime did an amazing job to make you care for practically every character introduced. This includes villain figures. This series is actually a perfect example of how to do a slice of life take on the Isekai anime, which is why I'm pretty hyped for Season 2. Hopefully that's going to be able to deliver, but at this point I don't have too much reason to doubt. ReZero Season 2, finally! Subaru is back, along with one of the top Isekai anime. It's been 4 long years, really going for that Attack on Titan plan. From that, I've actually seen some confusion about this sequel. Some of you have asked, isn't the ReZero story done? Didn't Subaru and Emilia get this vague happily ever after? To be fair, I can see why there is this confusion. The first ReZero season ended in what seemed like a happy note. Subaru finally rescued the girl he truly loved. Sorry Rem, and Rem fans. But here's the reality. What you saw in the ReZero Season 1 anime was really more like a setup for the real ReZero stuff coming up. The ReZero anime actually ended before a major cliffhanger. I'm expecting ReZero Season 2 Episode 1 to actually kick off with this. I expect this heart-wrenching intro back into ReZero. Now the dozen of us Emilia fans will explode into the hundreds. Maybe. By the way, ReZero 1 is actually gonna get this combined recap episode up until the Season 2 debut. Some important scenes are supposed to be added. I'm expecting a lot of these scenes to actually be related to key witch info that either got cut out or heavily abridged. So are you ready for ReZero Season 2, The Revenge of the Witch with Subaru's Suffering, upcoming in 2020? Next up, did someone say more Madoka? At this point, hopefully Madoka needs no introduction. It is one of the best, if not the best, Magical Girl anime series. Just seeing how much Madoka merch plus Madoka pachinko exists here in Japan, is anyone surprised for more Madoka? Although I should warn you, this Madoka record anime is not really a sequel, but an anime based on the Madoka app game. Fun fact, I do have several Japanese friends who play this Madoka game. From their words, they're really only playing for the cute girls, which is why I'm happy for another Madoka anime, although I am keeping my fingers crossed that this isn't just a promo for the Madoka game. Come on, Shaft Studio! Next up, Evangelion 3+1, also known as the 4th and final Evangelion movie. Should you feel cautiously optimistic? Every Evangelion fan has been waiting for this year after year. I mean, I recall expecting this back in 2015, and now 5 years later. Yeah, people that have literally finished college, gotten married, or even had kids waiting for this thing to be released. Holy crap. On a positive note, thanks to Netflix, Evangelion is now freely available for newer anime fans. Definitely go the Japanese language route on that. The first 10 minutes of this Evangelion movie were actually screened at Anime Expo earlier this year, so yes, it does exist. Since then, I've heard some Evangelion fans either feeling super positive, confused, or both. This movie is supposed to bring this conclusion to the Evangelion rebuild films, although honestly, I highly doubt this is going to give you this definite conclusion to the Evangelion series. The franchise just prints too much Japanese money. Definitely don't be shocked if a bonus movie gets announced. Hopefully that doesn't include another 5-year wait time. I could also imagine another partial Evangelion redo. SAO Alicization War of the Underworld Part 2. Way too long of a title. It really feels like the popular thing now is to make sequel anime seasons, then further split them into multiple parts. This will be not only the conclusion of the War of the Underworld, but SAO Alicization as a whole. You just had Goddess Asuna introduced, and some more allies are coming up. Meanwhile, you do have the Dark Territory side of things. Will God Vector be able to suck up Alice's soul? Not to mention, who's gonna ultimately win? The Japanese people on the Ocean Turtle or the attackers? Oh, did I forget a certain someone? How about a comeback for the AFK Kirito? At first, I was surprised to find out SAO War of the Underworld would be split into 2 parts, but after seeing the top animation ongoing so far, it is understandable. As an SAO light novel reader, I could guarantee you there's a lot of potential for amazing SAO scenes upcoming for this SAO Alicization conclusion. I still do have my checklist of stuff I do hope that gets changed, but at this point I'm kinda losing hope. At the very least, animation-wise, you're gonna get a visual feast coming up. Expect some top-tier Asuna and Kirito moments. Oh my god, what a surprise! Attack on Titan Season 4, the final Attack on Titan season. Although let's be honest, I'm predicting most likely this will be Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 1, with like 2 to 4 parts coming up later. Attack on Titan Season 4 will feel extremely different. Not too surprising after the whole basement reveal. At this point, I'm predicting anime fans will recall Attack on Titan through 2 distinct parts. Part 1, Attack on Titan from the Colossal Titan debut, up until Eren and friends reach the ocean. Then Part 2, which will cover everything in the upcoming Attack on Titan Season 4 anime. So far, Attack on Titan Part 1 has been overall extremely well received. For the second Attack on Titan part, it is still a question. As a manga reader, I could definitely vouch for some amazing stuff coming up, not to mention some heart-wrenching stuff you're gonna discover. However, the top question for any Attack on Titan fan right now is, can Attack on Titan land the ending? That'll ultimately be a huge discussion factor as to whether Attack on Titan will be remembered as this classic anime for any anime fan. Since Isayama is steering the wheel here, we're hoping he is going to be able to deliver. But hold up, it's not over yet, some honorable mentions coming up. Do be sure to post your own anime that you're excited about down below. Which 2020 anime did I forget? Alright, getting into some quick honorable mentions. 1. My Hero Academia Season 5, cause you know that's coming up. 2. Kaguya-sama Season 2. This will definitely be better than the live action version. 3. The Made in Abyss, the third movie. To be honest, I'm questioning how many fans actually recall Made in Abyss at this point. I'm also thinking this anime is gonna escape some possible controversy with this being a movie. Yes, I know some of the gruesome stuff coming up. Bonus mention, Dr. Stone Season 2. Last minute inclusion since it was just announced. Anyway, go ahead and post your top favorite 2020 anime coming up. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss my next video. That'll be the top anime of 2019. That's definitely gonna be a fun one. Check out these recent past juicy videos and I'll see you guys later.